Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, Priscilla Reads. So today I'm going to talk about a book challenge that I'm doing. So I read books that this podcast slash book club recommends. It's called Sword and Laser Podcast. You might have heard of it. They are a sci-fi and fantasy podcast, and it's run by two people, Veronica Belmont and Tom Merritt. Veronica, usually 99% of the time, she's picking the fantasy side of the book club, so she's picking the sword. And then Tom is doing the sci-fi, which is the laser. I don't even remember when I started listening to the podcast, but it's been 5 years, I think. And I don't, throughout the years, I haven't read every single thing that they have recommended, but I've tried to at least do a lot. And it's something that interests me, or maybe that month I need a recommendation, so I start to read that. And I decided a few months ago that I'm going to read everything from the beginning. So I'm looking at my laptop here, and they started the book club, which it was first a book club, and then it was shortly after it was a podcast. They started in October of 2007, excuse me. So I'm starting then, and they will pick one book a month to read. And I have my list here. It's very daunting. So they've picked 118 books, thereabouts. There's been some alternate picks. So those are, 118 main picks. And I own 55 of those books, whether it's a physical book or it's from a Kindle. So that's, I think, 55 if I've counted correctly. Out of those, I've read 15 of the 118 picks. So I have 103 books to read, because that's my challenge. I'm going to read everything they've ever recommended. And so what I'm doing is, so if it's a book one of like a trilogy or whatever of a series, I'm going to read the first book, and if I like it, then I'll continue on reading the rest of the series. Not necessarily like I have to read that entire series and then move on. It can be throughout my reading life, which is forever. But yeah, I want to eventually read the entire series, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in order. But what does need to be in order is what they have picked. So I'm going to go with, pick number 1, pick number 2, etc. So the first book club pick was Philip Pullman, Northern Lights, or The Golden Compass. It's known in America as The Golden Compass. And I'm a little over halfway, very little over halfway. And I own the trilogy, so I'm hoping to read the entire thing. But the next pick is Ender's Game, which is somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, it's right there. I have actually 2 copies of this because I was gifted. I don't even think it was the entire series by someone else. I think there's like one missing, but I already owned it. But anyway, so that's that. The third pick is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Am I pointing to the right thing? The fourth is Neuromancer by William Gibson, which is right there. The third pick was Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke, and I don't think I own that. So, as I read them, I will eventually buy them or get them from the library. If there's a sale on Kindle, I'll do that. So that's my challenge. Thankfully, I have read some books throughout, the time that since I've known Sword and Laser podcast, because otherwise it might be a little scarier. But yeah, so I'm going to come back here and update you on that, see how I'm doing. I'll probably come back and talk about Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. I'm liking it so far. It's very exciting. I didn't know anything about it, so it's pretty cool, to just start a series that everyone knows about except me, because I never was interested in it at the time when the movie came out and stuff. So that's it. we'll see how this goes. I'll come back and update you all on it. Wish me luck. Bye.